Action.
Action. Hello and welcome back to another episode of A Tad Bit Older. My name is Pearl, and joining me today is producer Matt, the man behind the camera, behind the microphone. He is our producer, our editor, our IT, lighting, sound.
And usually part of the problem.
Soundboard. And he gets to put his input in, and we do enjoy his perspective. So today
sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know. If you watch on the YouTube channel, I give him a few looks like when he's talking too much about himself. But this is a very special, fun episode. A lot of listeners have been reaching out to us for advice, so we put some of the best questions together, and we're gonna answer some of those advice questions and talk about it together. But before we get into that, this has been an interesting week with our fast.
Oh yeah.
I
was like, where are you going with this?
You forgot that's like the biggest thing happening
to forget.
us. So we are both doing a 5-day mimicking fast. If you've watched us before, you know that Matt and Juliet have both done this fast before. So this is his second time doing it. My first time doing it. And we are on day 3, end of day 3.
Yeah.
And I feel good, but I am requiring a lot more rest and relaxation.
Yes. Oh no, I feel good. I'll get spurts of energy.
Like this is us at the end of the day of day 3.
Wrapping it down.
And we are only eating at this point 800 calories.
Yeah.
And we have 2 more days to go where we only have 800 calories. Basically, our 2 biggest meals of the day are soups. We get lots of herbal teas. Today we had crackers. Tomorrow we'll get olives, which are my favorite. And you get like a protein bar in the morning if you want.
Yeah, olives go hard. The crackers, the kale, and
when you are like not eating, olives and kale crackers are like such a treat.
Let's talk about when you're not eating like you normally are, and everyone around you just notice they're all eating. You're like, why?
Why does everybody chewing louder?
Like, I didn't even know McDonald's made like a quad patty type. And
why are like all the favorite like treats and snacks coming out? And then like on my TikTok feed, like all the like recipes and like
stuff I don't even eat. Like I seen someone eating Chipotle and they're just like,
I don't even eat.
And I'm just like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like,
I hate all of you. And I wouldn't even say I'm like craving like junk food. I kind of just miss like my morning chai tea, and like me and you like to have like green tea with like Splenda at night.
Yeah.
We like to eat boiled eggs at night. So I wouldn't say like we were already on like a healthy eating. I wouldn't say we were like clean eating, but we already were like sharing meals. We haven't ate fast food. I don't even remember the last time we ate fast food, but we do eat at restaurants a lot. But we mostly wanted to do this fast just because we needed like a restart. We kind of indulged over the holidays, and we are just, like I said, really focused on our like weight loss goals and our healthy goals now that we're like 40, right?
Yeah. Not only that, I was doing like a little internal, like, is it like an internal dive? I don't know. Like I get these spurts of like, sometimes I see how much food we waste. Yeah. We waste so much food. Even when we go out to eat.
Our kids don't ever eat.
Our kids don't eat. We'll eat our plates, but it's almost like you're like, dude, like we should all just share.
Yeah.
Because we're wasting so much food. So.
Yeah, we've started to adapt that. Like, we'll buy the kids something that they can both share. Or he and I will share, or I'll be like, I'll just get this little girl pasta and I'll just eat whatever she doesn't eat, because usually me and my little one share. So yeah, that. And the other thing about this fast. It's through Prolon, but it puts you through like a cellular rejuvenation. Like, so right now, the day that we're in, our cells are like recycling themselves. We're going through like a detox, which you do with fast anyways. But I like this fast because it focuses on like belly fat. If you do it 3 times a year, it can reduce your metabolic age by 2.5 years. So that's always a good thing. It's supposed to be good for skin. I was like putting my makeup on today and I was like, right? Or no, is it just me? I feel like,
oh, you look good.
I feel like my face like brightened up a little bit. Yeah. I was just feeling so like run down and dull from the holidays. And like you were saying, we're already kind of going through this transition period, like in our careers, in our relationship, like in our finances. So our goal is just to like continue to take care of this machine, this body of ours, so that we can continue to do the things that we're doing. Because not that we're old, but like as you get older, you really have to maintain your body to keep up with the things that you want to do. Like our kid, like we're balancing so much right now with kids, careers, school, you know, this podcast. Yeah.
And then also like you want to keep like a level head with your kids. You don't always want to be like blowing up on them because you've lost your patience because you're hungry or like you're tired or
and
but that's good because that's going to happen anyway. But it's like, yes, for sure, food affects
it's funny because you say that, but we have been so like short and irritable with our kids.
Yeah, but I feel like our communication's gotten better. We're like, haven't eaten.
Yeah, we just keep telling them like,
and
I picked our daughter up from school early today because at 2:00 that's when like I am like so starving and I need to just like rest. And she was getting out today right at 2:00 because it was an early day. So I took her out early and I'm just sitting on the chair in the office waiting for her. And she comes out, she's like, "What happened? You look really sad. Is everything okay?" And I go, "Mommy's hungry. Remember, I have." And this, I say hungry, but you don't feel hunger. You just feel, I mean, at times you do feel hungry, but I just told her like, "Mommy hasn't eaten. My body is like transitioning right now. Like it's definitely like I can feel it working through some shit."
Yeah, your work allows you to have some free time through the day, and my work was allowing me to have some time through the day. So.
You have more of a physical job,
right?
Whereas I only work 2 days during the week.
But we would be able to link up in the right before I head off for night to do my night thing, and we would go eat. Like that's like a nicety. Like
we noticed that a lot of the activities we do together involve food. Like let's go get a protein shake. Let's go get a coffee.
Oh, you can't even get a protein shake. I know. It's so crazy.
Like we'd meet up to go get a protein shake. We'd meet up to go get coffee. We'd meet up to go get like a late lunch, like after he was done with work. So like we realized that, and you realize how much you snack. Like even with just me making school lunches, I snack while I'm making lunches, or cleaning up dinner, or cleaning up like you're taking bites and licking your fingers. Like you just realize like how much throughout the day like you're just like eating. And I feel like my takeaway, the last thing I want to say about this fast is my takeaway is it has allowed me to be...
Wrap it up.
It has allowed me to be more mindful. Like even when we're eating the foods that they give us, we're like eating them so slow and like really savoring it and like enjoying it because we're not getting a lot of it. So that's one thing I will take away. Like I think, and I tell you a lot, slow down because he's a quick eater. So hopefully
prison style.
Yeah. But so we'll let you guys know how it goes. I'm currently down 4 pounds. Mm-hmm. What about you, hun?
Down 4 or 5 pounds. Yeah.
I mean, the weight loss is great. Hopefully we can maintain it.
But I tell people like at work, I'm like, I'm doing this fast. Everybody has the same exact. They're like, why?
Yeah.
Why? New year, new you. And I'm like, no, not really. I mean, it just so happens that it's at the beginning of the year, but we had already planned it.
So my thing with this fast was I was like, I cannot do it in the Arizona heat. Like I cannot be hot and hungry. So I was waiting for the holidays to be over. And because I was like, why am I going to do this whole reset in my body? And then, you know, Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas was around the corner. So yeah, I think that's great. I think you should start any time of the year because that's better than doing nothing. And our goal...
can you imagine doing this in the holidays?
Shit. Our goal is to do this once a month for the next 3 months. That's what is recommended for this fast. You do it once a month for 3 months in a row, and then after that, 3 times a year. But we'll see because this is hard.
It's mentally hard.
It's mentally challenging. Yes,
because we keep saying like, where I can eat anything, I'm so hungry. But you're not hungry. It's just a lot of the everyday activities revolve around
I feel like, yeah, and then the energy you need to like keep up with our kids, keep up with our jobs, you know, kind of running around.
While I've been on the fast, this mock fast thing, I get bursts of energy. What is it?
Mimicking fast.
Mimic fast. I get bursts of energy at the...
I do get bursts of energy
end of the night. Like I'll just have this burst of energy, and I'm just like, oh, okay, you know,
yeah,
I could do this, you know.
So we'll keep you guys updated.
I like it.
But in addition to Matt being producer and all of those nice things that I mentioned, we're also married. And I don't know if you guys know this. I didn't say this, but Matt...
We look like we don't belong together.
Matt is my husband. And if you listened last week to Karen from Get Figgy With It and Figgy Beauty, the medium / hairstylist that we had on, she confirmed what we already knew, that we are soulmates. Soulmates. So he is my husband. I am his wife. We have children together. So you guys sent in
something like that.
We got a little fam. So you guys sent in some questions and kind of around a lot of things, but there was a few about parenting. So one of the questions we got was, how do you keep the spark alive after having kids? I feel like my partner and I are just co-parenting and not dating anymore.
Co-parenting and not dating anymore. That's what this person said?
Yeah, they feel like they're just co-parenting.
Yeah, and you can fall into that.
Yeah, I think when you get busy, especially like us, kind of right now where the stage we are in our lives, we kind of pass each other through the day, like good night and good morning. And so it is real easy because I have my chores and duties to do with the kids when I'm with them, and he does too. We rarely have time together. It's mostly when we're sleeping or drives to work. So I think for us, we really try to, like, we talk all day on the phone. And
yeah, we talk all day. Somebody, a buddy of mine told me, I don't want to give away his secrets, I won't say his name, but he said if he can just make his wife laugh one time a day, you know what I mean? Like that, then he's winning, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, that's a good one. So I mean, you pick up little tricks here and there. Like I like that one. I always try to smile when I see you, even if it's bad news.
Oh my gosh. Every time one of us comes home, one of the things we do is we're just like so happy to see each other. And that's not fake. Like we all rush the door and like I race the kids to get to him first, or he'll race the girls to get to me first. So that's like, you know, just being happy to see each other when you come home, because you're out there in the world, like dealing with shitty people, stress, work, the pressures, and you want to come home and feel like you were missed versus like, I'm home and no one really acknowledges it. So
that's why people like dogs, because dogs are so excited to see you.
Yeah, we're like a bunch of little dogs when we come home. Like we run up and we like hug and jump on each other.
You know what? Yes, because we started that unit a long time ago, and we just kind of said like it's us against the world type thing. So the kids, you know, our daughter's getting older, and she'll still hug us and love on us in front of her friends. So that's a good feeling. I mean, that may not always be those when she gets a little older, but she still does it now. So I'll take it. You know what I mean? So she's not too cool to, you know, say that we're her parents or whatever, which it's not that big a deal, but you know what I mean? Like, it's still nice.
She's following, and like I said, we're modeling some behaviors and we're seeing in our kids. The other thing we do is we do date night, which we haven't done in a while.
Yes.
Just night. Because I only work weekends. My husband works during the week. So it's hard to get date nights in, but we try to make date nights like at least, you know, before this new transition that we're in, we would go on a date night like every other week. We probably go like once a month now. And my other most favorite thing is...
Can I guess?
Go ahead. Can you guess? The other thing
our
we
solo
did.
trips.
Oh my gosh, our solo trips. Like I can like he can be on my nerves for like the last like 6 months, but then when we go on this solo trip,
Oh, I mean together. We're together.
yeah, we
we're
go
not,
together.
We're
We
not
don't separate. We go on just a trip away, just us two.
It's a long date night weekend. Yeah,
once a year, and it's usually around my birthday. And oh my god, it's so much fun, and we just like really reconnect. Like
I would like to do it twice a year.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Like right before the holidays.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Yeah, or even like right now we're itching for a trip, but we're gonna go. We're gonna take our kids, but that I think is a game changer. Like going away together and just being like not mom and dad. We get to go back to being a couple, and it just gives us time to like talk and reconnect. And we are, are such creative people.
Do you know what we do? Do you know the one thing we do when we go on those trips together?
What?
It's one thing we always do. Let's see if you can guess. Or do you pick up on it?
One thing we always do. I don't know. I mean,
we always try something new.
That's true. We do always do something different that we've never done before.
We'll not who was it? Parasail. We went on that tram
gosh,
when we went
on the tram recently.
What is it called? A tram?
Yeah, the Palm Springs tram.
Right. We do stuff like we've never done before.
Yeah,
we try new foods.
And I think that plays into like keeping the spark alive, creating new memories together. And then we're both so nostalgic. We are like creatures of habits. We like to visit places we've been before, go to the same restaurants, and that kind of keeps the spark alive too. So yeah, date nights, trips away, and then just being happy when the other person comes in. And then like I would say, we talk a lot. What's one parenting hack that has saved you both time and sanity? Oh shit. Do we have a hack?
Parenting hack that saved us time and sanity.
I mean,
wow, that's good.
I think I mean, some of the things that help us in the morning is like making sure the kids have things ready to go the night before, just like being prepared.
We can't for the life of us, we can't get our kids to get organized enough like we would like them to be. I mean, they do a little, but we would like them to be freaking machines probably. I don't know. Like we just want them to be on point. But since they're not quite there yet, a lot of prep goes into like what we do.
I think a lot of prep.
So you will make lunches. You'll plan out like outfits. Sometimes you'll put like 3 outfits a day. Like help her, our oldest, like figure it out because she's all into fashion right now and the way she looks. So you'll help her do her hair and give her tips and stuff. Like the prepping that goes into it's probably.
I think just doing a lot.
I don't know if that's a hack, but it's
I don't know if it's a hack. I mean, just prepping and being prepared. I mean, like with lunches, I try to have things that are quick and easy. Like for me, when we have a busy week and maybe I was too tired to make lunch the night before, or you were too tired, I like to have things that are quick and easy to go, like Lunchables or the like Smucker's peanut butter, like things that I don't have to prep. I can just throw it in the lunchbox and be like, hey, sorry guys, this is like a Lunchable kind of day. So I guess that's my hack that saves my sanity, like that I could go to.
Having your car packed with stuff.
Oh my god, yeah, having extra
like
things.
extra underwear,
extra
you know pants.
What? Okay, now that we're on that, so both of our girls are like in dance and volleyball and theater. So we keep the volleyball bag and the dance bag. And when you go to volleyball or you go to dance, that shit don't go in the laundry. That shit don't get hung back up. It goes back in the volleyball bag and it goes in the closet. And our girls are in Girl Scouts too. So I keep the vest, the skirts, like everything for Girl Scouts goes in the Girl Scout bag. So I'm not like digging through shit, looking for things, looking like tap shoes, ballet shoes. Everybody has their own sports bag for whatever activity it is. And it goes like in the downstairs closet. So that is a hack that I have. I try to keep all of the things in one bag so that it's up to them to put it back, but that is my hack. And then like you said, we keep extra things in the car because even though our girls are older, shit happens and they still might dirty themselves, forget a sweater, forget socks. I had a kid forget his shoes one morning, so there's always extra junk lying around in our car.
Yeah, the forgetfulness is rampant.
How do you divide responsibilities as parents without fighting over who does more? Well, shit. I feel like when our kids were younger, there was always that constant fight over who does more. And I think we always used to fight over that until
I think you used to fight more because you were home with the kids a lot. The girls kind of, they want to be around you more. And then when I was over the road, it's kind of a no-brainer. You were here all the time.
But I think now this stage of life that we're in, because like I said earlier, we're kind of passing each other a lot, and I'm with the kids during a certain amount of time and he's with the kids during a certain amount of time. So we just, without even really talking about it, we just decided that like during the week I make lunches unless it's on a night that I work, because I do work 2 nights a week as a nurse. So on those nights that I'm working the like overnight shift, he's responsible for lunches 2 times during the week, and then on Sunday nights because I work Sundays. And that just has worked for us. I kind of keep up with the chores of the house Monday through Friday because he kind of has longer days, and on the weekends are my longer days, and he picks up the slack there. And so that really complements each other, because he comes home and the house is clean and organized and lunches are taken care of. And then when I'm working those long days on the weekends, I come home and he's kind of done that for me. So I think that like just recognizing, I heard someone say one time, like, there's going to be days when you're up and you're on your shit and you're at it, and the other person's going to be down and you need to be able to cover for them.
True.
And vice versa. So I think that's kind of like, as long as we've been together, our kids are 10 and 6, like we've just learned to be like, oh, I know dad's going to come home tired today, so let's make sure everything's in order. And he's really good. Like, he knows when I come home, I need a nice, organized, like clean bed. So he's really good. Like, if he didn't do anything, like at least my bed is made and I have like a nice bed to come home to.
Well, sometimes like the day gets away from you. Like the girls will have a birthday party or they'll do something on the weekend, and then I'll throw like a load of laundry in, and then get that dried. Don't have time to fold it, so it's thrown now. Okay, and then made a mess here almost, and then make the bed in the morning. And then we're just gone. And then by the time we come back, it's like we have a
load of laundry that's been getting tossed from our bed to our like chair for what? 2 weeks now? But everything else is clean.
But then there's like kind of like towels got added to it, and then I seen a carpet the other day, like a bathroom carpet. I was like, what the hell?
I seen a Christmas stocking in there too. I finally got that out. I got the carpets out. I did do that. So if anything, I sorted it all out. I had my kids take their clothes out. I took the towels out, and I took the stockings. So literally everything that's in there just belongs to us.
Right.
So that's something we do. We kind of try to like help each other out and like recognize it.
I know this ain't the topic, but we definitely need to go through all our clothes and shoes and start getting rid of stuff, because I'm done.
You. Someone said, we have 2 toddlers and it feels impossible to make time for self-care. Any advice on balancing personal time and parenting? I think
toddlers.
Well, I think kids in general. I mean, toddlers are tough. You're like in the fucking like toddlers. They do fucking nothing by themselves. Like they need you to help with everything. I think like when we had, we're very fortunate. We have my mom who lives with us and she helps us take care of our kids. So we are very fortunate that we get a lot of free time away from our kids if we need to. Like if me and him just need to run to the store, need to go to the gas station, like we don't need to lug our kids.
We have the flexibility.
We could be like, hey mom, I'll be right back, I just need to go to the post office. Hey mom, I need to go put gas. Like, hey mom, my husband will be like, hey, can you just watch them real quick, I need to go get water. So
but don't get it twisted, she'll disappear for a day and be gone.
How dare you?
She's on blast.
So I think with like, for me, my self-care, I try to like, my self-care is super important to me, and my husband's like a big advocate of that. He's like, you need to take care of yourself. Like, don't feel guilt. He's really good about like not letting me feel guilty about spending money on myself. As like far as like, I go get my hair done, I get my nails done, I get facials, I get my brows done, I get wax. And he never ever makes me feel bad about that. So I think like having a partner that supports you. If you don't have a partner, like finding a friend or a relative who can, support you and set that time aside. I like to break up my self-care days like weekly. So I don't like to bunch them all in 1 week. So like 1 week I'll get my nails done. The next week will be my hair. The following week will be. So I like to break it up so that every week I have something to do. And my husband knows that. So I think as long as your partner is on board and supports that, like, that is just like, that's like non-negotiable for us. Like, I am going to do that. My husband knows it. And then I try to like support him and encourage him. Men don't have a lot of like maintenance to do, but I do encourage him to get like haircuts.
Yeah.
And when he says like, oh, I want to go hang out with a friend, or I'm going to stay and I'm going to see this, or I'm going to do a show, or I'm going to stay late at work or stay late here at school, I'm like so supportive, because even though that's not pampering himself, that's a form of self-care. So whatever like extra activity, I think it's important for your partner to appreciate that in moderation though. Like, I don't think that like you should be spending every night, like every night is not self-care, like as far as like, if my husband was like, I need to go out every Friday and be with my friends, that's self-care.
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a balance. Like, I think for us, the bulk of our time we spend together as a family and as a couple. And then the time with our friends are sprinkled in there. Because I do think it's important to spend time with friends, right?
Yeah.
But for us...
a family too.
But for us, I think we rarely see each other. Like, we see each other, but... when the four of us are together, like us and our kids, that's pretty rare these days. So we really like cherish, like if it comes between like spending time with all four of us or one of us being somewhere else, like we kind of cling to like, let's be with each other.
Yeah. It's yeah, because there's times where I get invited to go golf or invited to go get a drink and stuff like that. And it's like, dang, if I got an opportunity, especially if you're off, and the kids are not doing anything and everybody's available, like I kind of want to spend time with you guys, because you're right, we're just kind of passing each other and stuff like that. So yeah, self-care. I like haircuts make me feel good, but and I've gotten a pedicure once or twice.
Oh, massages. Oh my gosh, every time we go on our trip away, he's so good. He always makes sure to schedule us a massage. And it's like the best. Ooh, we need to do that on our next trip. So yeah, I think just making sure you have to put it on your calendar. You have to carve out time for self-care. And you have to have someone who supports that.
But I think you're right though, like excessively like going out every Friday or doing stuff like that, that's, that ain't gonna really fly. So.
Yeah. I mean, but we're like 40, so I get it.
That's true.
If you're younger,
I mean, if you ain't got no kids.
I mean, if you're in your 20s and 30s and you have kids, like, I get it. You want to go out and hang out with your friends, and I totally support that.
Fuck going out. I would travel. I would travel.
Yeah.
Because once you have kids, you ain't going to do that much traveling. I mean, until they're older.
So on to relationship questions. Someone said, my partner and I are struggling to communicate without arguing. How do you both handle conflict in your marriage? I wouldn't say we argue. We talk very passionately to each other. We've gotten better, right?
A lot
We
better.
try not to argue in front of our children.
I think not taking yourself so seriously, like, because your feelings can get hurt so quickly, especially with the people who love you the most, and or the people you care about the most. So like, I would say not taking it, not being married to everything you have, like every idea you have or whatever, because there's times where I really want to do something and the kids aren't vibing with it, or I want to make like a financial decision and you're not vibing with it. So, I mean, being flexible and not being married to every idea you have, and not taking yourself so serious, because there's times where I'm like really trying to explain something. Well, I used to back in the day really hold on to like these ideals and be like, no, we have to do this.
Yeah.
And it would just hurt my feelings so much when you guys weren't vibing with it, and it would create this big old explosion, and I'd be like cussing and stuff. So I think we've gotten a lot better though. Like,
well, I think one of the things we like to do is
and when I say cussing, I mean I'm cussing at everyone else. Like I'm yelling at everybody.
You're like what's his name from Home Alone? Like push up.
Yeah.
But for us, like I really work on like not blaming. I try to use like a lot of I statements. Like I'm not I'm not feeling supported or I'm feeling overwhelmed. Like I I try not to come home and like yell, and I try to communicate more and be like, mommy gets overwhelmed and frustrated when there's a lot of clutter and disorganization. Like that affects my mental health. So I think because I've like communicated that,
and that's you talking to me, mommy.
Yeah, because I am like, I'll be yelling and my husband will be like, that's right, you guys. I'm like, I'm talking to you because you are responsible. You are supposed to be here telling them like, mom's coming home soon. This house needs to be in order. So I don't yell at my kids. I'll yell at my husband because I have very high expectations for him and I know what he's capable of. So for me, I just try to communicate, and we really don't go to bed mad. My husband is... Oh,
yeah, that's a good one.
Thankfully, I know that's like an old thing to say, but my husband is so forgiving. Like, you need at least one non-stubborn person in a relationship. And I used to be very stubborn. Like, I held a grudge. I'm mad forever. But because I don't want to spend my time, and we do get in these ruts, like these, we do have times where we like are fighting and irritated with each other, and we ruin the whole morning with that. And then we're just like, and he'll call it out. He'll be like, dude, this was our only time together, and look, we fought. Like, that was not how we wanted to spend our day. So because our time is stretched so thin, we try not to argue, but we're not perfect. We disagree. So how we come back from that is just like being forgiving and allowing that person space to come back to the group after you've just like cussed everybody out.
Sure. Yeah. Being accepted back in. But, you know, like, I've also gotten better at apologizing to everybody. Yeah. Like, I really make sure I tell the girls, like, you know,
oh my God, we're so big on apologies.
People aren't supposed to be talking to you like this, whatever. I mean, we've talked about that in previous podcasts, but, yeah, I think you gotta be forgiving. I mean,
yeah,
clear your palate, you know?
All right. Someone said, how do you know when a relationship is worth saving or if it's time to walk away?
Walk away, man.
I
you really got that feeling.
As I'm saying, I feel like if you're asking yourself that question, it probably is.
I mean, how old are you? Are you like in your 20s? Like, if you're in your 30s?
It really just depends on the stage of life you're in. And then I think if you're asking yourself that question, then it is time to walk away. I don't ever think that. I mean, we're so committed to this relationship. We've been through so much. We've been together since we were like 21 years old. So like 20 years now. And you know, at this stage with kids and being married, yeah, when we were younger, we broke up a lot. Like, we would break up, get back together, break up, get back together. And then once we fully committed to each other, that just doesn't cross my mind. I hope it never does. I'm not saying that people don't stay together for many years and then cross that path. But I think if you're asking yourself that question, then it's probably time to walk away.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, people go and they need confirmation and need all that stuff. And sometimes it's just step away, even if it's just for a break. I don't know. Do you believe in breaks?
No. What about those people who sleep in separate rooms?
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Well, I hear people like, I would love to do that or something. And I'm just like, really?
I don't know. I cannot sleep. I don't think that you can maintain an intimate, close relationship sleeping in separate rooms or even in different homes. I just seen an actress and I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah.
She's married to like a congressman or some type of a government worker in Atlanta. And she said they have their own house. They live their own lives. I miss my husband so much when he's not with me. He is like my safe place. He is like home to me. He's my best friend. So when he's not with me, I hate it so much.
I can spend time away from her. No,
no, I can definitely spend time away from you, but I would not want to sleep without you on a regular basis. Yes, I've gone on girl trips and you've gone away with your friends and we always come back and say, oh, it was the worst sleep I've ever had. Yes, we had fun. We got to recharge. Mm-hmm. We got to connect with our friends. We got to spend time alone. Like, I think that is so super important.
Yeah.
But I don't think I need to do that every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we spend enough time away from each other when we're at work and stuff. Like, I don't need to then come home and sleep alone.
Yeah. I wish I could do all my activities like on my boys trip and then come home to you.
Yeah.
Like you were there waiting.
Yeah, waiting. Yeah.
But that would be unfair to you.
But I know a lot of couples are not like that, and that's okay. Like, if enjoy your space alone and that works for you in your relationship, then like go for it. For us, like we literally like have to touch each other while we sleep. Like I just have to feel the presence of my husband like next to me. And so I don't know, like I hope that doesn't sound like corny, but like I don't know, we're so codependent.
Find a partner you're willing to go to war with. That's what I would say.
Why? What does that mean?
I don't know.
Why would you say that? I'm like, like me and you are going into war together, or we're going to war with each other? Like,
no,
what do you mean?
You're with me, and we're going to war.
Yeah, like we're super partners. Like it's us.
Why would you say that?
I know. I was like, wait, what? You go to war?
Are we beefing right now?
Yeah, do we got beef that I don't know about? Yeah, I think like me and him are super close. We're super like. We're really good friends, and we were friends before we started dating. So I think having a relationship built on friendship is like super important. But at the end of the day, like I love my husband. I don't want to sleep without him, and I don't want to be in a different home without him. But if that works for you, go ahead. But True. that's like another. It said someone else said, "Do you have any tips on keeping intimacy alive in long-term relationships? I feel like we're in a bit of a rut." I think that's normal. I think people go through periods where they're not intimate.
Try new things.
We certainly have. And yes, I think like trying new things and being open and honest about like how you feel. Like I told my husband that I've only recently learned this about myself. When I get to be like in my feminine self, I'm more attracted to him. So when my husband is like, paying the bills, taking care of things around the house, like doing things
things,
things, the quote unquote man things, like, when he surprises me, like when I mention, oh, I really like this purse, and he just buys it for me and I don't have to go buy it for myself. Like those things make me so attracted to him versus if I'm having to worry about finances, I'm having to worry about how to fix something or, even just a simple thing of him putting gas in my car, like is so like, and he's not perfect. Sometimes he does it. And I'm like, I need to put gas. I had to put gas in my car today, bro. And he's just like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, so I think for me, like knowing what I need to feel like attracted to him and being honest with him, like, and I've told him like, when I have to worry about those things, I'm not in my feminine self. And then I am not going to be in the mood.
Yeah.
And so he's like, listen and takes note of that.
But it's definitely working in progress. I mean, you'll tell you'll tell me that, and there's times I fall short. There's also times you fall short in the bedroom. So that's what I'm saying. Try new things. There's
not short.
No, not short. But there's times where you're like, maybe for whatever reason, whatever the situation is, you have to try some new stuff out. I mean, the same old, I guess, ain't cutting it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't really know.
I think like listening to each other and trying new things and being okay with each other's like insecurities and boundaries. And I think for us, it starts all day. It starts with like the kiss. The good morning kiss, the good night kiss, the welcome home hug. Like I think the intimacy starts there.
Sure.
It starts with the phone calls, like, hey, just checking on you.
But also we're in bed, we're not taking ourselves too seriously. Like we'll laugh at each other. You know what I mean? Like there's some stuff that I'll do, like I'll get a cramp or whatever, and you start laughing at me.
And I think having a conversation like, hey, is everything okay? Because I've noticed we're in a rut. Like we've had those conversations. Like, is everything good? Because
I think you're scared to say that because you're like, what if they're like, yeah, I'm not really feeling you anymore. Yeah. But wouldn't you rather have that conversation now than just be going through the rut and then all of a sudden it doesn't work out?
Yeah, you're going through the rut and now it's been like 6 months or a year, which that would suck. But you should communicate. Like as soon, like, it's okay to tell the other person, like, yeah, it's not you. I'm just depressed, or I'm feeling fat, or I'm tired. Like literally we're tired. Like it's really like
I'll sacrifice.
Yeah, that's my husband's always like, I'll be tired. It's so worth it.
It's best getting woken up at night.
All right. So work-life balance. I want to switch careers, but I'm afraid of starting over in my 30s. Did either of you ever feel like that? That's like us every stage of life. Like,
yeah. Switch careers in your 30s, and guess what? Switch careers in your 40s, and guess what? Switch now.
Yeah, I think
definitely do whatever your heart desires. We're on this, we're on this little trip of life for a blink of an eye. So
don't leave nothing on the table. Do everything.
Do not take nothing to the grave with you.
There are people I always read this. There are people less qualified than you doing the shit you want to do. Like, so fucking go do it.
Go do it, man.
Look at us. We're fucking doing it. To our 46 subscribers on YouTube. Shout out to you guys. How do you manage work stress without bringing it home? Oh my God. We're just like, we love what we do when we're not at home. But it is not that fucking important for us to bring it home.
Yeah.
Like, we will vent to each other to a certain point. Right?
I think you have to be very self-aware of what you're saying to your spouse, because you can come home, and our friend Juliet, I like this term, I always use it now. She said, you drowned them. You know what I mean? With all the things that are happening at work, you drown your spouse or your kids or whoever you're talking to about your situation. So I think there's a healthy balance, and you got to be mindful of just how much you're speaking about work. I don't know. I do sometimes vent to you a lot, and I can feel it too. Like, I'm just like, okay, that's enough now. Like, it's enough, because it didn't make me feel any better. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the situation didn't maybe get any better or whatever. So it's kind of like, you know what? I'm done talking about it. But I've over the years gotten better at clearing my palate. Yeah. You know what I mean? Coming home and being like,
I need a minute.
But also like coming home, and then you guys are running to me, and we're excited, and you kind of just like
let it all.
You let it at the door. You know what I mean?
We have our little rituals, like I said, the welcome home hugs, like kind of like
tea time at night,
and our tea time has become my favorite. Yeah. I love, which I was like so like against. He started tea time by himself, and he's like, you want me to make, because he was like getting off coffee, and he's like
sitting in bed a mom.
Yeah, he's like, I really enjoyed the tea time, do you want to join me? And I was like, nah, I ain't a tea person, like a tea time night person, like hot tea, no. And so one night he said, I made you a tea, just tasted it, so good. And I was like, oh shit, it is good. And then it just became so comforting to me, and I just love him, because sometimes I'll come home and I'm like so fucking tired, so stressed, like because I work like long days on the weekend, and my tea's right there waiting for me, and like that's the intimacy, like that's the foreplay, that's like, hey, I'm thinking about you. So those little things, going back to relationships, like those little things, and those things are helpful with stress, like having your rituals, having your things that you do where, like he said, you could clear your palate.
Yeah, I like clearing my palate.
I'm a working mom, and I feel guilty about not spending enough time with my kids. Any advice on dealing with that guilt? I think as a mom, we're always going to...
Do you, boo.
Yeah. I think as a mom, we're always going to feel guilty. Like, I can spend all... Like, I have been lucky enough to have a career where I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. Like, I take them to school, I pick them up, and every school function they have, I'm there. But then I'm gone all weekend working, and I feel so guilty for that. Even though I'm with them 5 days during the week, I'm gone, Saturday, Sunday, 30 hours in a weekend. Mm-hmm. I feel so guilty that I'm not there. I just don't think you ever get over it. I think it's part of a balance. Mm-hmm. And when you do spend time with your kids, making it quality time, like putting the phone down.
That's the key. Like when you do spend time together, it has to be impactful. Like, the things that you do, and I'm not saying like you gotta take them to New York or do these extravagant things, but you do have to really take an interest into what they're into, because what if they're into video games and you're just like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got to find some type of way to connect with them and make it impactful. Yeah. That's what I think.
Or even like we do a lot of extracurricular activities. So even when we're at their events, like watching them practice, watching them rehearse, I make sure when they look up for me, I'm not looking at my phone.
Oh, yeah.
Like I really like try hard like to not be on my phone.
True,
so that when they look up, they see me, that I'm paying attention and I'm focused on them. So
if you put your phone down though, oh my God. We were doing volleyball the other day, and there's so many parents multitasking. Yeah. You know,
you have to.
Well, you have to. There's no way you can go sit somewhere for 2 hours and not pick up your phone and handle some business or something, right?
Yes.
But this particular time, I'm watching my little one, and because our little one now is in volleyball, and I'm watching her, and I got my eye on her, and I'm doing what you're saying. I'm like, every time she looks at me, I'm like, hi.
Yeah, I see it.
And so many other kids are looking up at their parents, and they're not getting the same thing. And then there's a couple moms out there like doing the same thing I am, but I'm like the only parent, which I don't even know if you're supposed to do that. I'm like hanging on the banister looking at her.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know. Sometimes I feel,
because no parents do it, so I'm like, am I not supposed to be doing it?
I feel like that too, because I'm like, maybe these parents have just been at it for so long. True. Like they've seen so many volleyball practices, and we have too. But for us, like, and we're so not perfect. Like there are times where I'm like, hold on a second, I need to send this email. Sure. Let me edit this video. Let me, edit this podcast. Yep. And our kids are like,
be quiet back there. I'm trying to do this. Yeah.
And so that happens a lot. Like, don't get us wrong, but we're very intentional at practices, at rehearsals, that we like try to be mindful and make sure that when they look up that they see us. So, and like I said, you're always going to feel guilty. Like, I just don't think that ever goes away, but try to be like more present when you're with your kids. We kind of talked about this. How do you support each other when one person is more career focused and the other is focused on home life? Okay. Just that, like I said, Maya has, right now we're kind of both on like focus mode and we're both going for goals, but I would say you more so, because I kind of do my shit from home, where you have to be away from the home. Yeah. So in like, I think for us at the beginning, when we're like, now we're kind of in a groove and we're just doing it, we're coasting. But when it first started happening and I was getting like, I started doing pickup, which I didn't used to do. I was doing a lot of the extracurricular activities.
You're right. Our roles
roles kind of reversed because I used to work from home and I couldn't pick up the kids. And so he would do that, and he did a lot of the extracurricular activities. So like when that first transitioned, I was like not complaining, but venting. Like I would, and he allowed me that space. And then I communicate to him, like, I'm not complaining and I'm not blaming you. I'm just telling you like this is hard and what a day I've had. And he wasn't like, yeah, I know, I was doing it. He was like, yeah, I know, like, it's hard and I'm here for you. But for us, everything is temporary. And that's it. Just kind of supporting each other. That's
why I talk to you during the day and I check in with you and see how you're doing. And
I think that's big. And checking on the other person.
Like any little chance we get, we'll sneak away and have some brunch or something.
My favorite.
I would try to keep that line of connections. And if you ever did need like, hey, can you get the kids? Like, I'll try to make some time for it. But yes.
I like this one. Do you think it's important for parents to pursue their dreams, or should they prioritize family over career growth? I fucking think that every parent should go for their dreams and careers.
I mean, what's your dream though? Like, are you trying to put
right? If you're trying to be like,
what if you're trying to be like America's Next Top Model or something? Like,
no, you guys know what we mean. Like, what movie did we see? Oh, that movie Here with Tom Hanks. It's basically about this couple that put all, like, they got married, had their kids, and lived in their
spoiler alert if you haven't seen
if you haven't seen it, they live in their family's home like the whole time. They never move out because they just can't afford to. And
well, so he says.
He says. He keeps making excuses.
Excuses, yeah.
Like, the rates are too high. There's no homes out there. We can't afford it. We need to save. And so finally, his parents fucking leave. They're like, we're leaving. You guys keep the house. Yeah. And the wife's like, I don't want this house. Long story short, she gets to her 50th birthday and she is like distraught. She's like, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted to do all these things and I put them aside. But my daughter is doing these things. My daughter travels like, so, she kind of sacrificed who she was for her kids. But I feel like because our kids see us striving and going for things, they are too, versus doing it in spite of us. Like, I don't want my daughter to be like, I'm going to go do all these things because my mom never did. Like, I want her to be like, I'm going to go do all things because my mom did do those things. My mom, and we have just gotten, like, our kids are so used to, like, we are just nonstop. Like, we are always kind of going for better. Like, even in this house that we have, a brand new, never lived in, built house, our kids are like, hey, like, we did it. We have our dream house. And me and my husband are like, this is not our forever home. Like, this is not the end of the road for us. We're going to live somewhere else. We're going to move somewhere else. We're probably going to live in another state. So I think it's super important. I mean, at least for us.
Yeah.
I
forgot the question.
It was, should parents prioritize their own dreams over family? I think it's hard to find that balance because we feel.
I mean, it definitely depends on what your dream is, and if it does align with kind of like your family.
There you go. Yeah,
like,
it has to align with your family goals.
If it's like completely like gonna take you away from your family, that's kind of counterproductive.
We're not saying don't abandon your kids and go and like become a showgirl in Vegas. Like,
no, I mean, like, what if you had to, like, I don't know, travel the world for whatever reason, and it just took you away from your family? I mean, that's going to be put strain on your family. But I definitely think within reason, with some proper planning and some great execution, you can do whatever you want.
You can do both. I mean, we do both.
Yeah.
I think if you asked our kids, like, if they feel like we prioritize. And that's the other thing. We try really hard to not let our kids feel like they're second. Like, we're doing all these things, but our kids know that we love them and they're our priority because, like, we show up to everything they do. Like, the simplest, not even the simplest, like them just getting on a roll, like having lunch with them. Like, we really make them a priority. And I think that's important. If you're going to go for your goals, like, you still have to put
whole, like, if you want to do something, you got to start with just doing it. You know what I mean? Which is true, but to get to where we are now, like she said, we're in the groove of things. I would say it took like 5 years of planning. You know what I mean? Because you had to put some staples, you know what I mean? Some big, like, you
have to put things in place.
And we had to get some momentum. Like, I don't know, like, it took some real.
If you're very intentional with the things that you want, then yes, the planning happens.
Yeah. But you prep everybody, you tell everybody this is what it is and these are what the expectations are. Like, yeah, I mean, why not?
We're already telling our kids, like, we're moving out of the state. We're not in 3 years. No, we're not going to be living here. So when 3 years come, we're like, it's time to, like, leave, you know? And yeah, like, and even our kids, we tell them, like, whatever you guys want to do, we support you 1000%. Like, you want to move to New York, we're moving to New York. You want to go to, we're going to school here with you. Like, so as much as they support us, we support them back. And like I said, like my husband said, what if I get a job out of state? We're going with you. Like, we will make it work. Like, we support you. We support your dreams. And wherever one is, the other will be, and we'll be happy. And I think you should. I think you'll be better off if you have a partner and a family that supports you in the dreams that you want to do.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap it up with some quick questions that people ask.
Rapid fire.
What's the most ridiculous argument you ever had? Oh my God. We argue a lot about the meaning of words. Yeah. Like, meaning of words,
but also we used to. We don't do it too much anymore, but we used to get into, like, big old debates, arguments about what someone said in a movie. Remember?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then you'd be like, I bet you're gonna have to
like so angry.
And but also like the bets would be so like you know
this
crazy.
This was before like ChatGPT and Google though, so that's why we don't argue. Because as soon as it starts, I'm like, Google it. Ask ChatGPT. Let's fucking settle this right now, because the more we keep going, and he's so sure of himself. I'm like, you're so fucking wrong. You don't even know. Like, that is not what happened.
Sometimes it feels like that's just what it is, you know? and then they'll say it. And I'm just like, God damn, how was I so wrong? Like,
no, then crazy. Once we argued forever about a line from the movie Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And we were both fucking wrong. We did look it up. And then we were like, well, we were both kind of right. Like, we were on the same level. But I'd say that's the most ridiculous fight. We fight a lot about like things that happen in movies, because we love to do movie trivia with each other. We don't like do movie trivia. Don't do movie trivia with us, because you don't watch the same movies we watch. We do movie trivia with ourselves because we watch the same exact movies, and it's only fun when we do it.
Right.
So we argue about that, and then we argue about words. Like, he listens to so much podcasts. He learns new words every day, and then he just tries to use them, and they're not always in the right context. And we get so annoyed with him, and we get so mad. And
you know what? It's low-key my favorite thing to just throw a word out there and just see what people's reactions are.
And we're just so like, mad. We're like, that's not right. He's like, it is. And I'm like, no, it's fucking not. Like, stop it. I hate it.
No, it's the best.
It's the worst. Okay. Another one. What's your go-to guilty pleasure after the kids go to sleep? I don't know if I have like a go-to like TV thing that I like to watch, because we're not big TV watchers. We have our
Lo-Fi Girl.
Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube.
Lo-Fi Girl on YouTube.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Check her out. But we kind of have our comfort shows. Like, we are TV sleepers. Like, we go to sleep with the TV on. So our comfort shows
I wish I had a show like I would watch.
We can't get into shows because we don't have time. So our comfort shows are
I watched Seinfeld.
And I like Roseanne. Like, once I put those on.
Roseanne, Jesus Christ.
The old school from the 80s Roseanne.
I know, Dan Connor.
Let's see.
They're just always trying to get ahead.
Last question. What advice would you give your younger selves about relationships, kids, and careers? Dang.
All deep.
I think I would. Do you have an answer?
I would say I'm glad I had kids older.
Ooh.
Sometimes like I wish I would have like kind of grown with them, but I think for me, I was the right type of temperament, the right type of. I was right where I was supposed to be when I had kids. It was the right time for me, because I was very scatterbrained when I was younger.
But what would you tell your younger self right now? Like, if you can go talk to like 21-year-old Mateo, 15-year-old Mateo, like, pick an age that's younger than you are now, and what would you tell that younger self to you about God. Where you are, like, well, about relationships?
If I could go that far back to 15, I would be like, work is hard. Like, get all the stuff out now. Like, work super hard now. I would tell my younger self the same. Because I played way too much. Yeah. I would tell my younger self way that too much. And also,
I would have became a nurse sooner. I would have started saving money sooner.
But I let myself off the hook for a lot of things. Like, I would make excuses why I couldn't do something or whatever. Like, hey, this isn't for you. I used to pull that card where like, hey, maybe this isn't God's plan for you. You know what I mean? But it's like, no, I was just giving myself, I was shooting myself bail. I would have
partied less. Not that I was like this big partier, but I would have like worked more. Like, I would have I don't know. I would have did things faster than I did. I didn't like get on the good foot till I was like almost 30, like, because that's like about the time I became a nurse. So I wish I would have did it like 25. I probably would have been like my cutoff, like, all right, time to fucking get serious. So that's the only thing I would do. I would have saved money sooner. I would have started my career sooner. I probably still would have waited to have kids, because that was always our plan when we got together, was like we wanted to kind of accomplish a few things before we had kids.
Right.
And then I would say about relationships, I probably would have walked away from like toxic relationships sooner.
True.
Obviously, everybody says that.
Yeah, toxic relationships. I mean, knowing that you have more value, I guess. I don't know. Like you kind of like tie yourself up with someone else because
you're like waiting for that person to see that you're such a great person, and then I wouldn't waste my time with that. I'd be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. But like I said, that's what I would tell my younger self. I would tell my younger self, be a nurse sooner. Still wait to have kids, save money sooner.
I liked the romantic part because we met young. Yeah. You know what I mean? We were friends first.
I still think everything led us to work
out good.
Yeah, everything that was supposed to work.
I think mine is more of my career. Like I think I would have took some. I should have zigged when I should have zagged. Wait.
Yeah, but we always say this. Like, there's no way.
That's true.
Your younger self could be where you are today. Like, you couldn't have tolerated.
You told me that when I was going to school, and you're like, "Could you have done this when you're younger?" And I'm like, "No, there's no fucking."
And you see those kids at school with you right now struggling. You know.
Well, struggling, but also it's like some of them are like very mature and intelligent. But sometimes I feel like they're a little too smart, and I think their roles and where they're gonna go is it's just not gonna mesh well. You know what I mean? But what do I know? But I know when I was that age, so that's what I would do. I'd go back and be like, "Hey, you need to get on the good foot."
I'd like shake myself and be like, I feel like I was always
beat yourself up.
I was always like a go-getter. Like I was always like looking for the next thing. But there was like a couple years there where I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do.
Just floating.
And I was like failing. I was always in school, but maybe I wasn't showing up for class. Like because I was just like, what? I don't know.
In nursing school, you try to get out of it a couple times.
Nursing school was fucking hard.
You'd come home like, this ain't for me. And
I literally, like, true story, guys. I failed nursing. Like, I failed a block. I didn't fail nursing school. I failed a block of nursing school. And I came home and I told him, I was like, dude, maybe this isn't for me. Like, I am so not smart enough to be this. Like, I think I should just, like, call it quits. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, you're going to do this. You are smart enough. You are supposed to be a nurse. And so, he likes to take credit for the fact that I'm a nurse. I don't want to take credit, but but I do give him credit for supporting me because I couldn't have done it.
Well, and then also, she says that she fails, blah blah blah. But guess who talked at the damn thing? You were like, they asked the graduation. They were like, "Can you talk because you were a big part of our class or whatever?" So. You went from like one low point to such a high point, and you did such a great job when you spoke. And I specifically remember you telling me like, I'm not going to mention you in the speech. Okay. So don't get offended if I don't.
And do you remember this? Yeah, but did I?
Yeah, you did. You gave me a big old shout out. Like you were like, thanks to my husband. I was like, why did she tell me that? Like she wanted to surprise me maybe.
I love you. Thank you. But don't get me wrong. We totally get on each other's nerves. We totally fight. But at the end of the day, like, we are, like, each other's, like, I don't know.
Salvation.
Yeah, like, we always say to each other, like, be mean to everyone else but me. Like, go fake it. Like, come, if you're going to fake it with me. Don't go, you know how you go out in the real world and you're like, hi, how are you? Good afternoon. Have a good day. It. I'm like, do that shit with me because I don't deserve for you to come home and be a fucking asshole out there. Come home and be fake with me.
Well, also there's times where I'm like, stressed out or I get on you and yell at you and I never feel good about it. You know what I mean? I never feel accomplished.
He never gets mad at me though. I get mad at him on a fucking regular basis and he's such a great husband. Like he's such a good dad. He's such a good husband. And because he's so good, when he like falls short, I get so fucking mad at him because I like just have these expectations for people and my husband just gets the grunt of it. Like he is like the top of my list of like the best person. So when he fucks up, I'm like, dude, I'm counting on you to fucking be with it. And you're not. Like and this is how he responds. He laughs it off like, and so that brings me back. So he never gets mad at me. And I'm such a fucking bitch. And I'm so like moody and I'm so stubborn. I'm like, he's just like a way better person than me. And so thank you for that, honey.
Growth.
Yeah, it is growth. And yeah, and because of that, like I think that's why our partnership works. And we're here doing this podcast because I had an idea and my husband said yes, and he executed it for me with everything else we have going on. He like totally supports me, and podcasting was his thing, and he gave me I think that's what I love most too, is like you gave me the space to be who I want to be, and let me be a creative, and let me also be a nurse and be a professional and be in charge and delegate. So I hope you all find a husband like mine, because you will be truly grateful.
Dang, stepped on my flowers. Like, you were talking good about me, and then I just like talked over you. Dang it.
Okay.
So that's why I'm behind the camera, because I want you to really soak up the moment and really experience this, because that's another thing that we didn't talk about with our family, is we're all about experiences. So if one of our kids are like, oh, should I do this or should I do this, and we'll definitely be like, it's all about experiences, so let's try to make something happen with that. So
even if you fail, it was still a fun experience.
So even though I was kind of not feeling being in front of the camera, it's cool.
Thank you.
I feel like we have these conversations on drives all the time.
We totally always say we should have like a car podcast, because our best convos happen in the car. So I'm glad you guys got to join us today. Thank you so much for sending in your questions and wanting to hear our advice. We hope you guys have a good week, and we will let you know more about our fast next time. Bye.
Bye.